morning, everyone. Good morning and happy Halloween. Thank you all for coming out this morning. My name is Kari Steele, and I am president of the Board of Commissioners at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. You are now at the Robbins Heritage Park and Midlothian Creek Restoration Project. We are here celebrating phase one. We're having a ribbon cutting for phase one of the project, and we're celebrating the kickoff for phase two. Everyone give us a round of applause just for getting this far with the project. But before we go any further, I would like to acknowledge my colleagues on the Board of Commissioners that are present here this morning. First, I would like to start with our Vice President, Theresa Flynn. Commissioner Precious Brady-Davis. Commissioner Daniel Pogorzelski. Commissioner Yumeka Brown. Commissioner Eira Corral Sepúlveda. We are so pleased to welcome also our senior senator from Illinois, Senator Dick Durbin. For without Senator Durbin's continuous support, great projects like Robbins would not go forward, and we will hear from Senator Durbin shortly. But I would also like to recognize our Governor JB Pritzker. Robbins Mayor Darren Bryant. Soon, our Cook County Board President Toni Preckwinkle will be joining us. Interim Illinois EPA Director Jennings. And I just wanted to personally tell all of you all from the Board of Commissioners that we are grateful for your leadership, vision, and unwavering support for this new stormwater management project. And I would also like to say a thank you to the Robbins Board of Trustees. The Cook County Board, their dedicated staff for their continued support, and of course the MWRD staff. We have reached a halfway point on an initiative that improves the future of landscape in Robbins, Midlothian Creek, and the Cal-Sag Channel. Today, we celebrate a new dawn of opportunities that will enhance the community's recreational amenities. It will lay the foundation for economic development and improve the environment, all while building much needed drainage infrastructure for the community and giving us some great stormwater management in this area. The Robbins Heritage Park and Midlothian Creek Restoration Project includes a new stormwater pond with a storage of holding a capacity of 9 million gallons of water. And it's surrounded by a beautiful green space that will include a rain garden and a variety of plants that will serve to absorb stormwater and capture it where it falls. And just so you all can put this into a little bit of a perspective, I know I said 9 million gallons of water, and I always try to stress the million gallons of water, but that's basically bigger than an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It's almost more capacity than an Olympic-sized swimming pool and a half. So I did a little calculation in the car to try to make you relate to what we're doing here. But that's grand when you think of the water that we'll be able to capture with every rain event, and that's water that we are keeping out of those unwanted places. Altogether, this project will significantly protect 92 homes and buildings and remove more than 1,300 structures across a 140 acres from the 100-year flood plan. As we reach this exciting milestone, We want to acknowledge the many partners that made this project possible, including the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Chicago District, the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, Cook County Board, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, Regional Transportation Authority, the Chicago Community Trust, University of Illinois at Chicago College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs, Donahue and Associates in Skidmore, Owing and Merrill, and F.H. Passion. So as you see, this was a teamwork collaboration. And of course, we thank our MWRD Engineering Department who have devoted their time and expertise over the past decade to arrive at this moment. And I didn't say it earlier, but we definitely thank our Executive Director, Brian Perkovich. Brian, can you please raise your hand? You are all greatly appreciated. And now, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our greatest supporter at MWRD, U.S. Senator Dick Durbin. Now, Senator Durbin has led the charge with Illinois congressional delegation in securing almost $40 million in reimbursement to the MWRD for its work in constructing the Thornton Reservoir. The MWRD is now reinvesting those funds in devastated communities like Robbins. And for me to clarify, I said devastated communities like Robbins, but I like to say communities that are financially challenged, communities that have not had the ability to improve their infrastructure over the decades and need a little financial help to address devastating flood and storm damage and improve climate resilience. But there are still approximately $200 million in federal funds that were advanced by the MWRD to complete Thornton Reservoir on schedule. And the senator is working hard to get money, to get every dollar back to our communities. In fact, Senator Durbin is now working to secure $50 million in upcoming Army Corps of Engineers fiscal year 2025 work plan to complete the Robbins project and to fund stormwater management projects in a total of 6 disadvantaged communities. In addition to providing matching funds for FEMA flood mitigation projects in areas that were hit hard by the 2023 storms. Those storms were declared presidential disasters in Cook County, and Senator Durbin is working hard to bring those funds back to our communities. Senator, on behalf of Cook County communities, we thank you for your leadership and tireless effort to protect our citizens and improve the quality of life for those most in need. Basically, we thank you for getting environmental justice and for fighting hard for environmental justice. Everyone, please give Senator Durbin a round of applause, and we welcome you to the mic.
Thank you, Kari. My staff, I want to thank them for this nice speech, which I'm not going to give. When half of your audience is standing in the rain, keep it short. So let me just say a few things that come to my mind. Number one, the Village of Robbins was incorporated in December of 1917. It was kind of a bold experiment, an African-American community this close to the city of Chicago. When Thomas Keller, the developer, was asked why would they come out here, he said, well, it's peaceful, it's quiet, they can grow a garden, they can even raise some chickens if they want to. I'm not sure how many chickens are in the community these days, but a lot of people looking for a future are here. In December 1919, the Dallas African-American newspaper interviewed the mayor and said, how are things going? And one of the things he mentioned was a challenge, was what he called drainage. 1919, drainage. We're here today to talk about drainage, try to make it certain that people who live in this community don't have their homes flooded and have a good community to be part of. What's nice about this project is not only that it addresses this whole issue of flooding and water, but it also talks about the greening of the community, the development of bike trails and hiking trails and things that the residents can enjoy that are consistent with good environmental policy. This never could have happened without the Army Corps of Engineers, and it never would have happened locally were it not for the Metropolitan Water and Reclamation District. Give them a big round of applause. Kari Steele, great job. I noticed as she introduced me, she gave me a long list of things to do, so I'd better get started. Thank you.
Thank you. We know a closed mouth does not get fed, so you better ask while you can. Thank you, Senator Durbin, for those remarks. And it's now my honor to welcome Governor JB Pritzker. Under Governor Pritzker's guidance, projects like these remind us of the positive impact that forward-thinking partnerships have on our communities and future generations. Everyone, please give Governor Pritzker a grand round of applause.
Thank you so much, Kari, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And happy Halloween. We have no tricks, only treats today. It is truly a pleasure to be here celebrating remarkable progress on the Robbins Heritage Park and Midlothian Creek restoration and kicking off the next phase of this excellent work. I know that sometimes we have these events and, there's a grand ribbon cutting and everything's all done. We're halfway there, and we've gotten an awful lot done, and I'm really proud of that, and I want to thank all of the members of the MWRD and especially your president, Kari Steele, whose leadership on this project and others just like it across the city have kept our water flowing and our residents safe and healthy. And I'd also like to acknowledge some of the many others who are here, whose hard work has made today possible. Our interim director of the IEPA, James Jennings, and the entire team at our Illinois EPA, they also are unsung heroes in these endeavors, but they do an awful lot of hard work, not just in Springfield, but all across the state of Illinois, preserving and promoting Illinois' natural beauty and protecting our natural resources. I want to acknowledge Mayor Darren Bryant. Thank you very much for your work. On behalf of the entire Robbins community, terrific. And of course, we're going to see President Toni Preckwinkle. I know she's on her way here. Whenever there's rain, oh, did you get here? Where are you? Ladies and gentlemen, President Toni Preckwinkle, terrific. She and Senator Dick Durbin, working together with the state, the Army Corps of Engineers, so many others, reliable advocates, Toni Preckwinkle and Dick Durbin, are for Illinois, for Cook County, and doing the right thing all the time. The project that we're celebrating today has been many years in the making. What started as a group of just dedicated public servants identifying a risk to this community has blossomed into the transformational infrastructure that you're going to see here today. Our investment is not only mitigating long-term flooding and drainage issues, it's creating an opportunity to restore the long-term environmental health of the region, and it's bringing economic and recreational development to this area. People think of stormwater drainage like it's not something that's real important in their lives, but as you know, it really is. This system has a 100-year level protection. That means it's keeping future generations in Robbins, and it is keeping people on the land and with infrastructure that matters to them and properties being safe and stable. In doing so, businesses and transportation and housing developments can now be planned for a long-term future here in the community, something that's been challenged by the instability and danger of the old and obsolete infrastructure. The result is that jobs and recreation will be more available in the years ahead. When people think about the way that government shows up in their lives, I don't imagine that a stormwater park and creek restoration are at the top of their lists every day, but these are the unseen but vitally important projects that protect our communities from harm and save taxpayers money and create economic opportunity. The projects that really embody what public service is all about. So let me be the loudest and proudest here to give due recognition to the unsung but critically important efforts behind this. All across the state, we're seeing the investment that we've made to build our infrastructure come to life in restoration projects just like this one. We're moving past the era in Illinois of temporary repairs and quick fixes and patching up mistakes, and instead we're investing in sustainable long-term solutions. And that is what our communities need first and foremost and deserve. There is plenty of work left to be done, including phase 2 of this project here today. But together, we're building a safer and cleaner and more prosperous Illinois, and let's all be proud of that. So thank you all for being here. It's now my great pleasure. Shall I turn it over to you to make the introduction? Or would you? Okay, I'm just going to say it. You've got a great mayor. I get the pleasure of introducing your great mayor, Darren Bryant, who's, of course, leading the way on this.
All right.
Good morning. I didn't wake up thinking I was going to be introduced by the governor. That's big. Kari, I love you, but jeez. I'm Mayor Bryant, Village of Robbins. But before I get started, I do got my thank yous too, so it's going to be a lot of repetition. I want to thank all the dignitaries that's here today, from the Honorable President Toni, who steps in for Robbins whenever we need it. Can we give her a round of applause? Sorry to go off script. We had a water main break that connected us from the city of Chicago to Robbins at our main function, over a $700,000 job, and President Toni Preckwinkle stepped in to save water for Robbins. The Honorable Senator Dick Durbin is here. I want to give him a round of applause for all the hard work you do on behalf of the country. The Honorable Governor JB Pritzker is here today, and I want to thank him because I didn't know he was going to be here today. I reached out to Sean and Nancy, and I guess they got it done. And it's a collaboration with the governor and MWRD that I'm going to talk about later in the speech. The Honorable President Kari Steele, who is leading the way with this, I want to thank you as well, too. And I want to thank my board of trustees that's here today, and the clerk, Tiffany Robinson, Trustee Tiffany Robinson, Trustee Ernest Massey, Trustee Harper, Trustee Collier, Trustee David Dyson's out there. Wave your hand. Come up here, man. You should be up here. Come on up, man. Hey, I called you out. Clerk Dyson, and any other elected official from the village here. All right. Commissioner Buckley, I just want to recognize our elected officials who's leading a heavy lift in Robbins right now, a heavy lift, and also the board of MWRD as well, too. Commissioner Yumeka Brown, I don't know all the commissioners' names, but I want to thank you for the support that you've given us today as well, too. All right, let me get started with the speech. Today marks a monumental day for the village and our community, as we stand here together to celebrate the ribbon cutting of Phase 1 and the groundbreaking of Phase 2. And I kind of lost track of how many millions this is, but I know it's over $20 million that's being invested here today. With that, we're reminded of the power of collaboration and resilience that we can do as a state. I want to express a deep gratitude once again to the Honorable President Kari Steele, Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, that's a tongue twister, for spearheading this innovative stormwater solution. To the staff, Dylan Cooney and George Valadez and the team, thank you for the monthly project meetings. Once again, thank you to Calumet Collaborative, UIC, the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, CMAP, the Chicago Community Trust, the IEPA, Army Corps of Engineers, FH Passion, B3, who's the contractors for Phase 2. Your collective contributions bring invaluable resources and a shared vision to this project, proving that together we can accomplish anything. This transformative project is more than just infrastructure. It's a powerful tool for beautification for our community, for creating recreational spaces where our residents can gather, and importantly, for making a lasting impact and reducing our flood vulnerability. Now, I do want to touch on this right quick off the script. So back to the Governor Pritzker. So this is how we build on one another right now. So we was able to get DCO grant dollars to get a turf football field on the other side of this mound for our Robbins Eagles, right? This is bigger. This is bigger than this flood mitigation, right? This is a multi-million-dollar recreational facility right here, recreational park, right, for our youth and things of that nature. We can do boat launches off the Cal Sag. There's so many opportunities. I want our citizens to know it's so many opportunities that we can build off this moment, okay? But the main thing was flood, okay? Today we took a major step with alleviating flood risk and reducing the pressures of the floodplain maps from FEMA. This project brings hope that our community will be stronger, more resilient, and where families can flourish. I'm going to close with this. There's a realistic worry in the town right now. I got to be honest, there's a realistic worry. And that worry is this: how is one of the poorest communities in the state going to find the resources to maintain a $20 million park, right? Now, we want to celebrate this large investment, but don't forget it's going into Robbins, right? But guess what I got behind me today? Come on. Come on now, Robbins. I hear y'all in the back. President Franklin D. Roosevelt once reminded us that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. It's fear itself. To the dignitaries that's here today, we must come together again to protect the taxpayers' investment. We must protect this investment. If we created this together, we're going to have to maintain this together. We're going to have to maintain this together. Otherwise, we fall victim to fear. Thank you all for the dedication and partnership and the belief in our community. This is just the beginning, and I look forward to celebrating more achievements as we move forward hand in hand with a vision together. Before you leave, Robbins, go get you some Harold's. We got a Harold's that just opened up. Get you a 6-piece of mild sauce. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bryant. Everyone give Mayor Bryant a round of applause one more time. And for our next speaker, the county has made significant strides in addressing the growing challenges of flooding under the leadership of Cook County Board President Toni Preckwinkle. Thank you, President Preckwinkle, for recognizing the impact of climate change and the need for resilient infrastructure. Will everyone please give President Preckwinkle a round of applause?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm very grateful to be here to be part of this celebration today. In a project of this scale, strong collaboration is essential. And you heard from previous speakers about how all levels of government have come together to make sure this project succeeds. I'm proud to say that Cook County is a dedicated partner and played a crucial role in the work we're talking about today. Specifically, the county contributed $2.3 million in Community Development Block Grant disaster recovery funds to this effort. Bear with me for a moment for a quick history lesson. In 2013, the county's Department of Planning and Development, which is part of our Bureau of Economic Development, received $84 million from the federal government under this Community Development Block Grant disaster recovery program to address severe flooding that has been occurring in suburban Cook County. $84 million. This funding, provided by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, thank you very much, HUD, is critical to helping communities like Robbins recover from presidentially declared disasters with a focus on supporting the areas most in need, and Robbins is surely one of the areas most in need. We've used these resources to address flooding issues across several south suburban communities, and I want to commend MWRD, the Village of Robbins, and all our partners for their commitment to making this project a reality. Within Cook County, I also want to acknowledge the contributions of the Housing Authority of Cook County, HAC, and the Cook County Land Bank Authority. A former HAC property was repurposed for this project, and the land bank helped acquire additional parcels that became part of the total development. Our communities will always face the potential of flooding, especially those communities that are close to the water, but we're confident this project will alleviate many of those risks. Throughout Cook County, our goal is to build thriving, resilient, and sustainable communities. And projects like this one enhance municipal infrastructure and are essential to achieving that vision. But we know the work isn't done, as I'm sure Mayor Bryant would remind us. Moving forward, we continue to be committed to villages and municipalities, such as Robbins, that have the greatest need. So thank you all for playing a role in this development. We look forward to the completion of Phase 2 and seeing this beautiful natural space become a central part of the Robbins community. Thank you all.
Thank you, President Preckwinkle. And our final speaker today is Interim Illinois Environmental Protection Agency Director James Jennings. With a wealth of experience and a deep commitment to environmental stewardship, Mr. Jennings has dedicated his career to ensuring a cleaner, healthier Illinois for all. Everyone, please welcome Director Jennings.
Good morning. I will try to keep this brief, recognizing that I know you all don't want to be blown around. But as an agency lifer, events like this continue to inspire me to reflect that the whole of government approach, when you have local government, state and federal partners come together to unite funding and to unite resources, that truly good work can continue to be done in our communities. I'm really excited to be here on behalf of the agency and our dedicated technical staff, and I want to pass along some abbreviated thanks. I mean, first of all, to Mayor Bryant, to President Steele. I mean, your leadership in this space has been integral to ensuring that a community that had long been unnoticed by a variety of entities is getting the resources it needed. In addition to that, our team truly appreciates the leadership that Governor Pritzker has provided in affording our agency the funding needed to be able to pass those money on to units of local government that have truly needed to know over a long time, so that we can continue the critical work to modernize the state's water infrastructure. I mean, as a lot of the speakers before me have said, I mean, this is only the beginning. So for the agency, this kicks off Phase 2. And I'm very excited on our behalf to be here to say that we are making a 7-figure investment in this community. That money will be used for a variety of stormwater protection purposes, including installing technologies to treat stormwater, to capture stormwater, so that there won't be long-term pollution impacts to you all and to other communities downstream. In addition, we'll be doing restorative work. We're going to be handling over 2,000 feet of bank line that goes along the Midlothian Creek that otherwise would further contribute to erosion and negatively impact your community. The returns on this investment are real and significant. So once the project is completed, every year nearly 6 million gallons of otherwise untreated stormwater will be captured and treated by these technologies. As a result, almost 200 tons each year, every year, of pollution that otherwise would go into these waterways will be entirely eliminated. And so, sort of feeding off of the same type of analogy that President Steele noted, I was trying to think on a way up here of how to characterize this, and thankfully we employ a lot of people smarter than me, and they were able to give me one. And so that amount of pollution is the equivalent of roughly 12 dump truck loads of pollution that otherwise would go into these waterways. And so when you think about that, that's 12 dump truck loads of pollution in an amount of water that otherwise is about the size of an Olympic-sized pool. That's a massive public health benefit to the community and a massive environmental benefit. And so as many others have already said, I mean, the work is continuing. We're not done here, but this type of project is reflective of the type of work we're moving to go forward and our continued investment and commitment to communities like Robbins statewide and to protecting the overall waterways in the state. So thank you all very much, and I will turn it back over to President Steele.
Thank you, James Jennings. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. And one, I thank all of you all for standing out here. I know it's raining, I know it's cold and windy, but that's just a sign of how important this project is to Robbins. So I thank you all. We all thank you all. Everyone standing up here, we thank you for your support, and we'll get this moment going so we could get back to work on Phase 2 of the Robbins Midlothian Creek Restoration Project. Thank you all for coming out, and have a great afternoon.